Who wants to be the next Italian wine ambassador? Join an exclusive network of 400 Italian wine ambassadors across 48 countries. Vinitaly International Academy is coming to Chicago on October 19th to 21st, and to Almaty, Kazakhstan from November 16th to 18th. Don't miss out. Register now at vinitaly.com.
This podcast is brought to you in association with La Taverna Friuli, the definitive podcast on the wines of Friuli Venezia Giulia. La Taverna Friuli is a proud supporter of the Italian Wine Podcast. I'm host Wayne Young, and if you're a fan of the Italian Wine Podcast and want to take a deep dive into this fascinating wine region, visit latavernafriuli.com or wherever you get your pods.
Okay, hello everybody. My name's Stevie Kim, and welcome to the Italian Wine House, it's called now, on Clubhouse. I know nobody's on Clubhouse anymore, but as you know, we are persistent, and this is what we call the Ambassadors Corner. And today, finally, I am able to host Wayne Young. Ciao, Wayne.
I am so excited, Stevie, to finally hear your voice on Ambassador's Corner.
I'm really sorry. My bad. You know, it gets really hectic, and then sometimes I plan to do it. Most of the time I'm on the road, so it gets a little bit more difficult. But very excited to be here today to listen to you and Jakob Zidarich.
Yes, Jakob.
Jakob
Zidarich, yes. Gotta give it that Slovenian flavor.
Yes, and I don't see him, though.
No, he's going to be here with me on my channel.
Oh.
He's in the La Taverna studio with me, but he's coming. He's on his way. He should be here any second.
Okay. You know, I was in your neck of the woods recently. Amazing. Where do you live exactly, Wayne?
I live in Udine.
You live in Udine.
And I'm sad that you were in my neck of the woods and you didn't call me. You know I would go to the ends of the earth for you.
I know, honey, but it was just, we were out there for the consortium, and they packed us with an agenda. There was no wiggle room at all.
For the Collio.
For a Collio consortium.
Their big, what was it, their 60th anniversary?
50th.
50th, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing, you know. It's really interesting because, you know, I've been to that area a few times, you know, with producers, you know, whether it's a party, whether it's a wine tasting. But until you get to the territory and give it at least 2-3 days, you don't really get to do the deep dive and fully understand its value, you know?
Yeah,
so I was very,
doubt.
very happy to do that. And the consortium was very generous in organizing my agenda there. So I was very excited. And hopefully we'll be dropping a lot of videos and pods very soon.
Cool.
In Collio. So back to you, Wayne. I know Wayne. I don't know if you had introduced yourself, but I know when you were also once in the tasting room of Wine Spectator.
Oh, my goodness. Did you know me way back then?
No, I didn't know. But Bruce told me about
Okay. Yes. That was like my very first job in the wine business, to be very honest, which was a very nice way to get involved in wine. Okay, Jakob is here. I'm trying to get him set up with his microphone. How are you, Jakob?
Fine, thank you.
There you are. Okay.
Hey, Jakob.
Hello.
This is Stevie Kim, Jakob.
Mr. Zidarich.
Zidarich Jr.
Yes, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. So anyway, getting back to Wayne.
So yeah, I worked under Bruce for almost 3 years, I think. Way back in the day, like in the mid 1990s.
Yeah, so you started way back. You've been in the wine business for a very long time.
Long time. Yeah, it's you're dating me. Yeah, everybody's going to understand how old I am.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Breaking news.
I started with I think Wine Spectator back in 93 or 94. Somewhere around there, yeah.
So Allison wasn't there already, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was
Allison.
way back.
Back there.
And then when I met you, actually, you were working for Bastianich.
Yes. When I met you, I was working for Joe at his winery, and I'd done that for 12 years as marketing director, and then another however many years it was working in the winery or just helping him out with visits and Vinitaly and things like that. So yeah, Joe and I go way, way back. I started working for Joe. 12 years at the winery.
And then what have you been doing since, other than, the Taverna podcast?
Well, I do not just the podcast, but I do some events here in Friuli, one of which is called Ottobre Rosso Refosco, which is a whole month dedicated to Refosco events in October, obviously. I also collaborate with Ronchi di Ciala, running their social media and their events programs there. Okay. So they're my number one client. And I also run wine tastings, wine schools, and different evenings here in Friuli Venezia Giulia throughout the year. So
fantastic. So you keep yourself busy.
Yeah, I try to. I need a lot of stimulation. Otherwise, I get bored.
Okay. So, Wayne, for today's call, you've chosen Jakob Zidarich, I love saying that name, as your favorite producer to be on this call today, who is actually sitting just right next to you.
Standing right in front of me, yes.
And why? Why did you choose Jakob?
Well, obviously, Carso is a big deal for me. I really wanted to have a Carso producer on here. And after I met Jakob at a dinner that I did here at a restaurant, and then I went to visit him at the winery, and he's got like the best, most positive energy. I mean, his father's wines are iconic. When you talk about Carso, you cannot not talk about Zidarich. So, so I chose him to sort of come along. Obviously, his English is quite good, as you will see. So obviously, I wanted to have him come there. But, I was always a little bit skeptical about Zidarich wines because they sort of fall into those orange wine categories, macerated wines, and I'm always very skeptical about them.
But is it considered a natural wine as well?
I don't know. Would you consider your wines natural wines, Jakob?
Yeah, for me, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Then it depends on you what you consider a natural wine.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have, luckily, Professor Attilio Scienza here today with us. So we won't be having that discussion today.
But I mean, if you think about the way he makes his wines, obviously he's organic, and his practices in the cellar are extremely sort of minimal intervention. So I would call them natural, but I always get super scared when you talk about natural wines. But his wines are squeaky clean. They're absolutely perfect. And they don't have any of those hallmarks that I tend to be afraid of when you talk about natural wines.
So Carso you're in the hood already, but when did you discover Zidarich for the first time?
Oh, I can't remember. It was a long, long time ago. And obviously talking about Carso, I've always been interested in Carso. One of the first places I visited when I came here 25 years ago was Conte, who was basically Zidarich's neighbor. So Carso has always been on my wine map here. It's a little bit further away since I'm in Udine. It's about a 45-minute, almost an hour drive to get from one place to another. So I don't spend enough time there. But yeah, I don't remember the first time that I tasted them, but I do remember I was skeptical, and I do remember being really surprised at how good the wines were.
Okay, so, we are here, we get a little bit geeky around here, especially with the VIA community. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the learning objectives that we should expect from your call today?
So I think what we want to try and do is do a bit of a deep dive into Carso as a region and understanding what makes Carso great. Carso is very, very different from the rest of Friuli, and it's not a huge region, so it can sometimes get lost in the shuffle of Colli Orientali, Sonzo Grave, but Carso is as much Friuli Venezia Giulia as anyone else, but it's very different, and the wines are different. They have their own varieties there, and we'll talk more about that.
I have to be quite honest. I know little to nothing about Carso, so I'm very much looking for this conversation today. So this is where I shut my mic, I mute myself, which rarely happens, so you have to take full advantage.
Jump in anytime, Stevie. You're always welcome.
And I will leave the floor up to you.
Okay.
And I'll try to come back towards the end of the show to see if there are any questions. Okay?
Okay. Sounds great.
Over to you.
Thank you, Stevie. So I do want to introduce my guest for today, who is Jakob Zidarich. Jakob Zidarich is the son of Benjamin Zidarich, or Benjamin, if we want to use the Italian pronunciation, who started bottling his wines at the Zidarich Winery in the late 1980s. After Jakob finished high school, he went to the Trieste. He went to Trieste High School, and then he went to work for Jermann here in Friuli for about a year, and then he went to the University of Udine to study enology and viticulture, right?
Yes.
And so super passionate guy about his native grape varieties, Vitovska, Malvasia, and Terrano. In love with the world of wine, especially when we're talking about smaller production wineries and wineries that have a more organic philosophy. So he also likes traveling. He likes traveling to other countries, hence your excellent English. And would love to visit places like South Africa and other areas to just see how they do their harvests there. So also a sports fan, basketball obviously is a big thing of his, and football. Is that football American football, or is that
no, soccer for the Americans?
Soccer for the Americans, or football? Yes, exactly. So Jakob, thank you very much for coming in. Tell us a little bit about, before we get started with Zidarich in particular, tell me a little bit about Carso and what makes this area so unique.
So, hello to everyone. I'm Jakob Zidarich, and I'm from Carso, or in Slovenia, Karst. And it's an area of the region Friuli Venezia Giulia, which is really different from the rest of Friuli. Also because we have like 30 centimeters of red soil and then just limestone. So it's really difficult to do just 1 hectare of vineyards, and you have to do like 1 year of work for preparing the terroir before planting the plants. And that's a lot of work and it's impossible to find a guy in Carso that has like 100 hectares because logistically it's quite difficult to do it.
So what is I mean, you said you have 30 centimeters of red soil.
Yeah, that's full of iron.
Okay, and then under that you have
just limestone,
solid limestone.
Yeah.
So not gravelly limestone.
No.
So how do you plant vines then if there's solid rock under there?
It's not easy because before planting you have to remove the big rocks, then crushing the small stones with the soil if you're lucky. Because if you don't find soil, you have to take the soil from the valleys, from the down of the valley.
Okay.
And then planting. So it's quite a great job, and
so you literally have to gather up soil from the valley and bring it up to the top.
If you don't find soil, you have to do this procedure. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite impossible because if you study enology and you tell these things to your professor, they say you are crazy.
So as you said, it's really, really difficult to sort of have big vineyards there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like also a little bit our fortune because it's better to find our place in more quality wines than more quantity one, no?
Okay.
And that's our goal also. And I think that's the best way to represent the Carso area.
Okay. So you it's just amazing to me that you have to literally like break rocks too. How did the vines get down into this solid limestone soil?
They search for water, no? So we did the cellar, and before the cellar there was a valley with the vineyard. Then for doing the cellar we removed the vineyard, and the roots of we found the roots of the vineyard, the old vineyard that we removed, for like 6-7 meters.
Really?
In search of water.
So literally going in between the cracks in this limestone to find water.
It's crazy. It's crazy if you don't see with your own eyes.
Yeah. So is water a problem where you are? Is the scarcity of water something that you worry about?
More than in Friuli, because we have more scarcity of water than in Friuli. The Carso area is a little more drier than Friuli. It's not so humid.
Okay.
And for one thing is positive, also because of the treatments. We do less treatments maybe in the vineyards, but from the other hand, it's less positive because we don't have the irrigation system and it's not so evolved like in Friuli. So it's a little bit tricky.
And you're very close to the sea there. So, I mean, give us an idea of sort of the geographical position of Carso.
We are near Trieste, the city of Trieste, which is the capital of our region. We are the hills above Trieste, and all the hills above Trieste is the Carso area on the Italian side. Then you have also Carso on the Slovenian side, which the soil is the same. Slovenian and Italy doesn't change.
Okay.
But the difference, as you told, is the Italian side is near the sea. And you have this influence of the sea, so you have a more Mediterranean climate. And then in Slovenia is more, you can say, continental, because the nights and in winter is more cold.
Oh, okay. So literally just the other side of the hill, everything changes.
Absolutely. And because also we have a lot of forest, it's not so developed for viticulture. We have a lot of vineyards, absolutely, but most of our area is covered by forest.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's what is maybe the percentage between forest and vineyard there?
I don't know, but if I'm going to bet, I would say 80% of forest.
80% forest.
Even more, maybe.
Okay.
So it's quite. We have a lot of potential.
So is the sea a sort of a warming or a cooling influence during the growing season?
It depends. Warming, absolutely, but also a little bit cooling because of this wind. Because also another particular thing about our area is our wind. We have this wind that's called Bora, or in Slovenian Buria, which it's constant every day, and it's drying everything. Also, if you have the day before the rain, with this wind, everything dries like in 1 or 2 days.
Really?
Yeah. And so that's positive for me.
That's very positive. So it keeps the grapes dry, so you have less problems with grape problems. With
absolutely. Then obviously when the vintage is a little bit wet, like this year, is different now. But on the years, we can say that it's drier than the rest of the region. Absolutely.
Wow. So apart from literally having to take a year to prepare a vineyard by digging and breaking rocks and bringing in soil, is there any other sort of challenges to growing vines and making wines in Carso?
Yes. For many years, Carso maybe was the most unknown area of the region, because we tend to have strange names also for the variety in the wines and the area. But in the last years, I see that there's a lot of interest from other people, customers, and from all over the world from this area. Also because maybe the growing boom of the city of Trieste and the surroundings areas, but also for the hard work of our winemakers that did more, as I told, quality over quantity wines.
Right.
They are going all over the world, from the US to Japan to Australia, all over.
Okay. And tell me about the Zidarich Winery. When did it start?
My dad started in the late 80s bottling the first bottles, but we always did wine, but we never lived from wine. So it was always red and white, but then it was like a second job. Then my dad, who was really passionate about this world, started in the late 80s. And then step by step, he did the cellar, he did the vineyards, and now he started from like 1.5 hectares, and now we have around 10 hectares, and we produce around 35,000, 40,000 bottles. Depends on the vintage.
35, 40,000 bottles from 10 hectares.
Yeah, so
it's very low.
Yeah, so small quantity, absolutely. That's our goal, and that's our philosophy.
Yeah, very, very low production.
Yeah.
So, and your dad, he started always with this idea to produce native grape varieties?
The idea was like following the tradition, because between the border Slovenia and Italy, there's a really long tradition of doing the white wine like the red wine. So skin contact maceration also for the white wine. And that was our goal, but not too extreme maceration, always a little bit more elegant. And we follow this rule for many, many years now, and we are happy about it. And also we see that our customers are happy about it, and we're gonna follow this rule.
Well, so obviously this idea of macerating white wines is not sort of a trendy thing that you guys have started doing.
No, absolutely. And we are really happy that the others followed us maybe in this direction. Then obviously, you have other ideas, and you don't have that. It's not a bad road and a good road. Everything is good for me. But in our area, it was tradition like this. Then obviously you have other producers that produces wine in a different way, like maybe Cante, who is more conventional. Skerk is like a little bit like us, the philosophy. But the word is various now.
Yeah. So there's not everybody makes wine in the same way.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's good.
But because everybody has their own sort of personality in Carso. That's great. Okay. And so tell us about some of the native grape varieties that you have there, because obviously those are your focus.
Absolutely. So also our philosophy is to push a lot our local varieties, and our main local white grape variety is called Vitovska. And it's our main variety. Then also for the whites we have Malvasia, but the clone is Malvasia istriana, which you can find also in Collio, in Istria, but also in Carso. But each terroir gives them on Malvasia Istriana a different result, and that's really interesting for me. And then for the reds, we have Terrano, which I think you know really good. And it's from the family of Refosco. It's a little bit different from Refosco, and it's grown. Someone said that Terrano is coming from Terra Rossa, which is red soil from Carso. Maybe the name. That's one hypothesis now, but who knows? And that's our main three local varieties that we have now. Then we have also a little bit of international varieties like Sauvignon and Merlot, but we don't do them in purity. We use them for blends that we do also with local varieties. So we try to push a lot our local varieties because also Carso is a small area and Vitovska grows just in this area, and we want to push this variety all over.
So Vitovska is something that you don't find outside of Carso?
No, just Carso. Italy and Slovenia, absolutely, but just in the Carso area, nowhere else.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about Vitovska as a vine, as a grape, how it is to grow. Is it difficult? Is it easy?
It's not so difficult. It's better than Terrano. Terrano growing is difficult for the red grape. Vitovska is a little bit sensible to some diseases, but for the rest it's quite resistant because it's born there, so it's quite
it's used to
used to the wind and all that stuff. But then Vitovska is our main wine, we can say, and maybe 60% of our production is more white wine, Vitovska and Malvasia together. Then obviously we have Terrano, Sauvignon for the rest. No?
Okay. And so is it a very productive grape variety? Does it make a lot of production?
It makes quite a lot of production. Then obviously depend how you plant now. If you have the plant of Albarello, which is the form that we have, and also Guyot, it's quite nice. Then it depends of what you want, no? And then for the Vitovska, on the taste, the most important part is that it's not so aromatic, but it's really mineral in the mouth and it has this freshness, no?
Okay.
And that's the best part for me because it's like mineral, I like our terroir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember when I visited the winery, you showed me this Albarello, which is like the Albarello that you might think of if you think of.
It's not like Sicily, no. It's different. It's just the form of a tree, no?
Okay. And
so because of that,
has like these three heads that you work with.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even more, 4 heads now.
Okay.
But mostly we use, not for Vitovska, for Malvasia de Albarello.
Okay.
For the rest, we use Guyot. Just Guyot, yeah.
So Vitovska works best with Guyot.
Yeah, for us, yes. Then someone says, I know producers that they use also Albarello for Vitovska, but the problem of Albarello is that produces a small quantity of grapes, no? And you have a lot of work not to do, so you have to do some cost and benefits.
Is it an early flowering, early ripening grape variety? Is it something that
it's medium? It's not early. It's not like Sauvignon, but it's not like Merlot. No? That's really Duric. No, it's like in the middle, like I don't know, half in September, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So half towards the end of September.
Yeah.
Even with the climate becoming warmer and warmer, it's still.
Yeah, that's a good point that you did because in our area of Carso it was always a little bit warmer than the rest of Friuli, so we are a little bit used to this climate. So maybe we have this influence of this climate change, but maybe our area it will be more resistant. I hope so.
So apart from Vitovska, also Malvasia and Terrano, these are grapes that need a lot of sun and a lot of warmth to mature.
Absolutely. But sun is not a problem in our area. Absolutely, we have plenty of sun.
You have plenty of sun.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you need sun to ripen, this is the place to be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And plus, your vineyards are facing more or less south.
Yeah. More south. Yeah.
So you're really getting that sun all day long.
Yeah. So also we have to be careful with Terrano because Terrano is sensible to the burn of the sun.
Okay.
And we have to be a little bit careful and not to remove many leaves now.
Mm-hmm. And you also talked about how much you love Malvasia. So your two white grapes that you make in monovarietal form are Vitovska and Malvasia.
Yeah, because Malvasia, in Italy, you find a lot of Malvasia.
Yeah.
Like Malvasia di Candia, which is sweet. And I think most Malvasias in Italy are sweet one. But in Carso, our Malvasia is dry. And that's a thing that I like because I like more dry tastes now.
So how would you sort of compare Malvasia and Vitovska? What is the big difference?
It's different. They are really different. Vitovska is more straight, smooth on the mouth, and not so aromatic.
Okay.
Malvasia is totally different. It's really aromatic, an aromatic variety also on the nose. If you have 2 glasses, one Vitovska and one Malvasia, you notice the difference immediately.
Okay, and what about, because I know they also grow a lot of Malvasia in Collio.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what would be the big difference between a Malvasia you would find at your winery in Carso and a Malvasia that you would find in Collio?
Yeah, we can say that the Malvasia is a really powerful, in Collio, I'm speaking about Collio, Malvasia from Collio. It's a really powerful Malvasia because it's a little bit more stronger, heavy, fatty, we can say. In Carso, it's a little bit more mineral on the taste now because of this smoothness now, and the stone, the roots are living between the stone now. It's a big difference for me. It's more fresh, and also a big difference. It's the alcohol gradation because we have poor soil. We don't have rich soil, and the alcohol gradation in our Malvasia is like 13, 14 degrees, so not so much. And in Collio is not difficult to find a Malvasia that has maybe 16, but we are speaking Collio, but we can say also Istria is the same.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing that you're having high alcohol. It's a different result of a different terroir, because if you plant a Malvasia in Istria, you find the result. If you plant a Malvasia in Carso, you find the result that we have. In the Collio, the result is also different. No?
So a little bit more towards the minerally side of Malvasia rather than that.
This freshness, this minerality, it's really drinkable, we can say.
Yeah, because I remember tasting it with you, and it's, there's this roundness and richness to it.
It's peachy.
Peachy, yes, exactly. But then also you have this kind of backbone of minerality that keeps it nice and fresh, which I love Malvasia. It's one of my favorite grape varieties from Friuli. And it is very different because Malvasia from Collio has, and I like that everyone says it tends to be very fat, very powerful, very muscular, whereas you have a little bit more.
It's a different result of a different terroir. Collio has this result, but there's nothing bad about it.
Yeah. Okay.
And our Malvasia is, like with Vitovska, our most characteristic 2 white wines that we have. The 2 local white wines, Vitovska and Malvasia.
And you make both of these wines with skin contact.
Absolutely. All of our wines are made with skin contact. Minimum 2 weeks. 2 weeks of skin contact maceration, then 2 years of oak. So release 2 years after harvest, minimum. Then, obviously, we do some reserves or some other wines, like 2 blends that we do. They are done in a different way. But minimum 2 weeks of skin contact maceration for all of the wines, and then 2 years of oak.
2 years of oak.
Yeah.
Big oak, small oak?
For the whites, just big oak,
Okay.
Yeah.
So tonneau or even bigger than
Even bigger than tonneau. Bigger than tonneau, yeah.
So you don't change you don't have new wood every year?
Yeah, sometimes also we change, but we don't like the taste of this oak now. So we don't like the taste of new oak. This a little bit, we can say vanilla taste. So when we are buying a new oak barrel, we tend to mix together also with the old oak, so that this taste goes out now.
Oh, okay. Because, so it's not so strong.
Yeah, it's not so strong. Yeah, absolutely.
So you also use kind of unusual containers to do your maceration. You don't do them in stainless steel. You do your maceration in
stone.
In stone.
Yeah. Because it's like the end of a circle. Now the grapes and the roots are living between the stone, and then the grapes after harvest are returning in a barrel of stone.
Returning in a barrel of stone. So it's is this made from the stone that the soil is made out of limestone?
Absolutely. Because in our area of Carso, there is a long tradition of small artisans that are working the stone. And from the 2013, we did this experiment of building this barrel of stone that's open on the top just for the maceration part, and then 2 years of oak. It went well. It went really well.
Okay.
And we are happy about it. And now also other producers from Carso, they are doing their own barrels of stone. So I think in the next years you will hear about this type of doing wine.
And so what do you think this time in stone gives to the wine that's different, like than doing in stainless steel or concrete or whatever?
Even more minerality.
Really?
Even more minerality, because we do the Vitovska that's made in oak, 2 weeks of skin contact maceration and 2 years in oak, and then the Vitovska that's made in stone that does the maceration that's a little bit more longer, like 1 month of stone, yeah, and then 2 years of oak. So, but it's different. Same year, same vintage, same grape, different type of work. It changes completely.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's the big difference?
It's a wine that's ready. The wine in stone, it's a wine that's ready. It's a wine that's really smooth. The Vitovska, it's even more mineral. It's like tasting the stone. Absolutely.
Really?
But it's
so you really get this stony character.
Absolutely, and it's the thing that we wanted when we did this experiment. And also at the first, also we maybe wanted to do some amphoras, because why not? But then we thought, where it comes amphora from Georgia. Why don't we use something what we have here? What we have here, just stone.
So is there like a new industry now of people working the stone to make barrels?
Yeah, there are small producers that are working the stone. That's really difficult, and the costs are not so easy to take. But I think it's in the future you will hear a lot about this Stonish wines.
Have you heard of that anywhere else outside of Carso?
Yeah, we did some researches, and there are some producers that they did this barrel of stone, but not in such quantity and in such experiment like we did in different parts of the world, but not like we did. Absolutely, yeah.
So you have.
We are still experimenting. It's never ending.
always be experimenting.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So you have one wine that is done in wood, and then one wine that it's done in stone.
Yeah. In this line, it's called Kamen. Kamen is not the English surname Kamen. It's Kamen, and Kamen it's from the Slovenian name of stone. Kamen. Yeah. So Italian Pieter or English stone, Slovenian Kamen. We call the wine like this, and when you see on the stories the one with the white label, because usually you have a black label with our surname and our logo, but this one is white, like the stone.
Like the stone, exactly. Interesting. Okay, and do you do the same thing for Malvasia or no?
No, right now the procediment in stone we did just for Vitovska.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you do the maceration in stone for Malvasia or no?
With stone just Vitovska.
So the stone maceration is only
for Vitovska. This line that's done in stone, it's called Kamen. Just this one is made in stone. For the rest, we use oak. Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
For the maceration part.
And for the maceration. All right. And then Terrano is a very particular grape variety. You mentioned before it's in the Rifosco family.
Yeah.
I think it's very closely related to either Tazzalenghe or Rifosco di Faedis.
Yeah. It's really closely related
to a cousin.
To the Rifosco di Faedis. Yeah. They did some researches and they found out this. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about Terrano.
Terrano, like Vitovska, is the typical white grape from Carso. Terrano is the typical red grape. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the typical red grape, and also the Terrano you find also on the Italian side and on the Slovenian side is the same wine, and it's really characteristic because of this high acidity, really high acidity, but low alcohol. So you have this freshness, always this freshness. But for me, the best Terranos are a little bit more older, so leaving the Terrano that's resting maybe 2 or 3 years in the oak and then releasing it, so it's not so acidic now.
So you need a little bit more time in the barrel.
Absolutely, yeah. Terrano was it was a little bit on the negative side of the story, because in the 80s there was usually Terrano was usually served like really young. And it was quite impossible to drink it.
I remember having, I think maybe the first time I had Terrano,
it was,
or maybe the second, it was really acidic. It's like mouth-puckeringly acidic. But
no, for me it's a great wine. It's a great grape. It's a great wine, and for aging, it's incredible.
Well, I think just like Rifosco and like Tazzalenghe, these are wines that if you try to make them to make really simple, fresh wines, you tend to not get the best out of them. But if you learn how to treat them and make sure that the grapes are mature and you vinify carefully, the wines have a lot of character. And I love your Terrano because it's super fresh and easy to drink, but it's not that sort of aggressive acidity.
No, it's I say always to the customer is this positive acidity, so cleans them out. No, if you are eating really fatty food, Terrano is the perfect combination.
Would you make it a little bit cool, the Terrano?
It depends. If it's really hot outside, it's not that bad. But if it's not, if it's in the winter, you get also this freshness.
Yeah. So is that sort of something that would be paired typically with food from the region?
Yeah, maybe to some good prosciutto or seasoned cheese.
Okay.
It's not unusual, no.
So that's the match. So fatty food, and you have this really brisk acid red wine
because you have this freshness. It's for me it's an incredible wine, and I'm really happy that we are doing it. And like Vitovska is the typical wine for the white. The Terrano is for the red. So on the Carso, we will always find Vitovska, Terrano, and Malvasia.
Okay. But you also make a couple of blends, don't you?
Yeah, we do some blends. Like the white blend, it's called Prulke, which is a strange name, I know. It's a name of a local area where you have the vineyards.
So it's a place name?
Yeah, it's a place name. It's a local place name. 3 hectares we have there. And then Rouille, which is the red cuvée that we do.
Okay.
The white cuvée is 60% Sauvignon, 20% Vitovska, 20% Malvasia. And then for the red, we have this Rouille, which is 80 Merlot and 20 Terrano.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we do the little brother of Rouille, which is a more simple wine that we do. It's called Rotz. It's 50 Merlot and 50 Terrano, but it's not released like Rouille, which is an important red reserve that we do. So it's released after 5 years. This Rotz is released after 2 years. So it's a more enjoyable and drinkable wine, but it's a more simple wine, we can say a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It's not so, say, heavy, like Rouille.
The Prulke is one of the wines that you've gotten the most awards and accolades for. So tell us a little bit about how that wine came to be.
Yeah, they say also that the best wines are cuvée wines. I don't know why, but
some people like that, but they're harder to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. I say the same. But Prulke is the only white wine because with Sauvignon that we do, because we had these plants of Sauvignon that they were almost 20 years old. And we always push these local varieties like Vitovska and Malvasia, but we have these plants of Sauvignon. So we did this ancient method of white wine because once it was not the vinification of every variety. It was all together.
Everything together, co-fermented.
Independent if it was Vitovska, Malvasia, Chardonnay, Sauvignon. We had these plants of Sauvignon. We did some experiment at the beginning, but we are talking about 30 years ago. And it went really well. And it's the only cuvée that we have, and it's the only wine that we use Sauvignon for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's macerated as well?
Absolutely.
All macerated together?
No, not together. We do the maceration separately.
Okay.
With the Sauvignon in one oak barrel, the Vitovska, and then the Malvasia. And then after pressing it, we mix all together. And then 2 years of oak.
2 years of oak after it's been mixed together. Okay.
When you see our black label of Vitovska, Malvasia, Terrano, and Prulke, the procediment is more or less always the same. It's 2 weeks of skin contact maceration and then 2 years of oak. So always release 2 years after harvest.
I love that. It makes things easier.
Yeah, it's easier to remember.
And for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. To explain, but so more or less, no.
Explain 5 different wines 5 different ways.
Yeah.
But it's also easier for the consumer also.
No, absolutely. And you have a rule. You follow this rule. It's not bad. It's not bad. How
have the recent vintages in Carso been for all of these wines?
Let's say that the last really bad vintage that we had was 2014.
That's a really bad vintage.
Yeah.
Okay.
2014 was really bad for us, and we lost a lot of our production. Then from 2014 till now, nothing bad. This year is a little bit too wet, we can say. A lot of rain.
Even wetter than last year.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot wetter.
Really?
Yeah. And then we did some really exceptional years, like vintages, like 2016 and 2020 for us was super nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it last year that there were those enormous fires in?
No, 2 years
2
ago.
years
Yeah,
ago.
because it's quite unique if you think, because this year we have like every second day is rain. And 2 years ago we had like 4 or 5 months without
No
rain.
rain, yeah.
So it's crazy because also we don't irrigate, we don't use irrigation. Maybe just in the first year of the plant, but it depends. But that year, when it was 4 or 5 months without rain, we irrigated because if not, it was impossible.
I mean, it was national news that Carso was burning.
Absolutely. Italian and Slovenian side.
Yeah. Did that threaten your zone at all, or was that a little bit further away from you?
It was a little bit further away. It was more on the Gorizia, near Gorizia, Carso on the Gorizian side, not on the hills of Trieste.
Ah, okay.
More Gorizia side, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've driven through there.
Yeah, it was crazy. Also, the train, everything stopped, and it was scary.
It was very scary, very scary. Well, I'm glad that this year there's not any problems with water, but we don't want to have too much.
Too much. Yeah. If you ask to a winemaker, I think it's always better less rain than too much rain.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of problems with peronospora and mold and all that sort of stuff.
A lot, yeah. Also, if you are biological, no, because we are certified biological, also with the treatments, and we don't use these systemical treatments. And if you are biological, you have even more problems because are not so powerful like systemic treatments.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of treatments, especially you treat, which is just basically a topical treatment.
Yeah.
And if it rains, you have to do it again.
Yeah. We tend to do at least as possible, but this year is quite difficult for us. But it depends because when it was no rain for 4 months, we did the entire year like 5 treatments.
Wow.
So if you
normally you would do how many?
8, 9, 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like
half.
Yeah.
And also 8, 9, 10 for the rest of the region and for maybe the entire northeast of Italy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
No one does this little.
I know in Collio Orientali, it's normally about 12.
Yeah. Also, I knew a guy from Trentino. They told me it was even more than 20.
More than 20 treatments a year.
Yeah.
We're talking
more conventional wines, absolutely.
Yeah, copper sulfate, yeah. So sort of going back to you and sort of your history there, I know your father started the winery. Was getting into the winery something you always wanted to do, or was that did that sort of just happen by accident?
That's the question of $1 million. It's crazy. I don't know even how to answer it. I was born there, so it was nothing new to me. I think it's a thing that comes slowly to you now because you are seeing these things every day, and after a lot of time, you are realizing that you are living in a good environment with good people, and I think that's the most important part. So in the last years, I'm really focused on this winemaking, philosophy.
Oh, okay. And how old are you?
I'm 26 now,
26.
from the 16th of May. So.
From the 16th of May, 26. Yeah. Okay.
Not that old, I hope.
And so like when you were 15, 16, 17, you never thought you wanted to be a lawyer or wanted to be a basketball player?
Yeah, a Formula One driver, why not?
Yeah, me too.
No, obviously I thought about it, but then I focused myself on the winemaking history of my family and my area now. Because I repeat, it's a nice environment, and it's great because everything changes like day by day. Mm-hmm. It's never monotonous. No?
Okay, it's never the same.
Yeah, it's never the same.
Never boring.
Never boring.
Okay.
Absolutely, never boring. And I think that's the most important thing in a job that you can do.
I was really impressed when I came to visit you, and there was your dad. He was getting the sprayer ready to do a treatment there. He was out there in his work boots and ready to go. You guys are definitely not gentlemen farmers who are letting. No, you're out there doing it and all that sort of stuff. So is it a really busy time of year now?
First front battle, yeah.
First. Exactly. So have you always been also organic? Has that always been?
Yeah. That's also a part of our philosophy, and I'm really happy that my dad, when he started doing wine, he followed some rules because also he he followed some models because he was really a friend with Stanko Radikon, which was one of the fathers of this macerated wine in our region.
Sure.
And he followed this example of these natural wines made naturally. But then natural, it's a vague term, I know, but for me, natural is like if you're doing skin contact maceration, if you're maybe certified biological and you do at least as treatment as possible. If you're working more in the vineyards than you are working in the cellar, that for me it's quite, important.
Okay.
And then obviously when it's maceration, we also don't do control of temperature, and all the yeasts are not artificial, are all spontaneous.
So all spontaneous yeast,
Yeah.
no temperature control.
No.
None whatsoever.
No.
Is that ever a problem?
Sometimes the problem, and we have procediment for cooling up, the fermentation, but it's nothing new. It's just cold water in a sort like of iron thing that we put inside. So nothing too invasive.
No, so no big
No.
system of cooling the tanks or anything like that.
And that's for me, it's natural. Then obviously it depends. Each winemaker, it's different.
Each winemaker is different, and your cellars are quite dramatic as well. I mean, they're partially they're constructed, but also they're partially natural caves.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's this environment that we wanted to do. It was almost 10 years of work. So we started in the year 2000. And we did this big hall of 23 meters. And then we started building the cellar slowly and day by day, and for almost 10 years. And now we are working in this cellar. And in the last years, we also enlarged a little bit the cellar. We want to do this room for the barrels of stone.
Okay. So
But
just
it's
one room for the stone barrels.
Yeah. But it's a quite unique cellar for me. And it's also really good because you really see with your own eyes what you find in Carso when you dig. It's just stone.
It's just stone.
And maybe some veins of Rizzoli.
And you found some natural caves. You said you were working. You found like a corridor that opened up.
Yeah. Because when we did the biggest part of the cellar, we wanted to do the storehouse in another place. But then we found this tunnel, which was full of red soil. It was a natural cave. We just removed the soil, and the soil, we put the soil that we found in that cave in a vineyard.
Up in the vineyards, there you go.
Absolutely. And then in that place, we did the storehouse for the bottles after filling up,
And it must be perfect temperature in there as well.
Now there's a lot of talking about ecology. Our cellar has 14, 17 degrees all the year, summer, winter, without 0 kilowatt of refrigeration.
So you don't use any energy to heat or cool?
Absolutely. And that's also the temperature that's constant every day for the conservation of the wine. For me, it's perfect.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. Amazing. So
you have to, the followers should visit our cellar.
Absolutely. It's something to see. And when in the next days, because I took some pictures while I was there, I'll make sure to put some pictures up on my social profiles so you can see what's going on there. But it is very, very dramatic. I mean, just visiting Carso in general is worth it, but seeing your cellar is really dramatic and really beautiful. And you have another activity that's opening very soon, right? Can you tell us what's about to happen at the Zidarich Winery for the next month or so?
We have this tradition that's called Osmica. Osmica is this open. We are open to the public now, but we serve wines and food that's not cooked.
Okay.
So prosciutto, salami, cheese, all prosciutto and salami and the meat from our production, because we have also a little bit of pigs now.
Okay.
We do meat from them, and then from local producers also cheese. But this osmica is nothing new, because in Trieste, in the area of Trieste, there's a lot of these osmicas. But it's not a really difficult thing to do, because you have to just produce your own wine and some food that you produce, and then you can sell it.
Okay.
And that's a really old law from the Austro-Hungarian Empire,
right,
from Maria Theresia, she had like this rule for 8 days for selling. And at 8 in Slovenian, it's called osem. So from that, the name osem, osmica. And now it's not just 8 days. You can be open for many days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So this Osmica, Ozem comes from 8.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you were allowed for like 8 days. What was it?
Yeah.
8 days a year?
It is here at the beginning, but now it's more. I think
Now it's
it's 40 or even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is very similar to the sort of the Frasca
it's
idea.
it's
in
the same.
rest of
It's the
Friuli.
same. And also, they told me, I didn't know that if you go to Vienna, in the surrounding areas near Vienna, there are these places that are really similar to Osmica. So
Exactly.
I think it's maybe the same culture. over there.
Is it the Heuregen?
Yeah, maybe
Something
yeah.
like that.
And
I
also,
think
they are serving wine. No?
Yeah.
And wine over there is the big focus now, because you are not allowed to sell maybe beer. Also, if it's your for own production, Osmica just serve wine.
Only wine.
Yeah, then obviously water and other types of.
So how big is your Osmica and when does it open?
It's open from the 2nd to the 25th of July. So
Okay.
you are always welcome there.
It's going to be hard for you to get rid of me. That's going to be because the view.
It's quite chaotic. It's quite chaotic.
Yeah.
I can tell you, but it's quite.
I'll just sit
not
there.
bad, it's not
I'll
bad.
just sit there. Just bring me a bottle of Vitovska and some prosciutto, and I'll be fine. You don't have to worry about me at all. No, but you have a beautiful terrace overlooking the bay of Trieste.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth.
Italian Wine Podcast, brought to you by Mama Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, from our terrazza you can see 3 states:
Oh wow!
Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia.
You can see those 3
in
countries.
in the most clear days, maybe a day after rain, when it's Bora, so the typical wind, it clears everything. So you see Italy, Slovenia, Croatia. But in Italy, you can see also in far away Venice.
You can see Venice.
Yeah, and in winter the mountains, the Friuli Mountains.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's how
It's
high
a-
up are you from the sea?
Around 300 meters above the sea.
Wow. So 300 meters, 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
That's pretty high. But the view is spectacular.
You see a little bit of everything, and it's good that you see the area where we are coming from, and it's a nice view. I can
It's
tell
a good view. It's a good view. It must be nice working out there as well.
Then you get used to it.
So are you going to be in the Osmica working yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
God.
Also, yeah.
As if you don't have enough to do.
Yeah. Don't tell me. Yeah.
Fantastic.
No, nice.
Wow. So, anything else that I didn't cover, Jakob? Something, maybe a question you wanted to ask? Or do you have maybe some new wines on the horizon or new projects that you want to talk about?
Yeah, these projects, we planted a little bit of Blaufränkisch, which is Franconia, in Italian, and we want to do these Carso native grapes, red grapes. So Terrano, Blaufränkisch, and another grape that's called Piccola Nera in Italian, and Plavina in Slovenian.
Okay.
But you can find Plavina a little bit also in Croatia right now.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
don't you
yeah.
find Plavina in Croatia?
Yeah. But for many years ago, it was also in Carso, this Blaufränkisch and Plavina. But
So we're
it
all of
was
these-
lost a little bit, and now we are.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it's coming back. I
So
hope so.
were all of these sort of typically found in Carso at one time?
Yeah, when there was Austria, it was like this. Yeah.
It was typical to find these.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then obviously they mixed all together,
Yeah,
and they do
to make
just
a-
red wine.
So
But,
what's the project? Are you going to make a mix of
yeah, a
those?
mix of Terrano, Plavina, and Blaufränkisch, and we are really happy about that. Yeah,
Is it going to come out soon?
I think in 2 or 3 years. That's our goal. Then if something changes, we cannot do it.
No, okay. I've tasted some Blaufränkisch, some Franconia.
Yeah.
In Friuli recently. It's great.
Blaufränkisch for me, it's a really nice variety, and
Yeah.
for me in Carso, it's doing great.
What do you like about Blaufränkisch?
It's like Carso style. It has this freshness, no, and I like it on the red wines, because I don't like red wines that are a little bit too heavy. Maybe I don't want to say structured, but a little bit. Sometimes they are a little bit too heavy, no,
Okay.
and they get a little bit boring, no. But with Blaufränkisch, I never tasted a Blaufränkisch that was really bad. So.
Good. Well, you've had a good luck with Blaufränkisch. I also
It's
have not had a bad Blaufränkisch in my life. I've
Experience
also
also.
been lucky. So.
I think it's a variety that's good to. It's a good variety to bet on it.
Interesting. Well, Carso is definitely a place where people should go and visit.
Yeah.
There are really amazing wineries there, Zidarich being one of them. So I just wanted to sort of maybe ask if there were any other questions. Maybe Stevie, if you had a question for Jakob, or there was something else that you wanted to sort of go into.
Wait a minute. Hold on. There you go. I have to do my special effects.
Oh, thank you.
Go. Thank you so much, you guys. Listen, of course, I always have a question. First of all, Jakob, I'm looking at your Instagram right now, and my question is, do you have hair? Have you got any hair on your head? Because I see this bald dude. Are you the bald dude? Or?
It's my dad. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, I am on the part of the mom, and from the family of mom, they always had hair. So, fortunately,
okay. Because I was like, you sound pretty young, but then I see this bald dude.
Yeah, that's Benjamin.
That's Benjamin.
Oh, that's Benjamin. That's your
That's
dad.
a big boss, yeah.
Okay. So on a more serious note, can you just give us an overview of how many wines, how many labels you have, and the production volume, so that we can kind of get an overview of the size of your winery?
So we have Vitovska, made in oak, Vitovska made in stone, Malvasia, Prulka, which is the cuvée with Sauvignon, the white cuvée. Then we have Ruja, which is 80 Merlot, 20 Terrano, and then the little brother of Ruja, which is Rots, and then Terrano, which is the local variety. And then we do also a fresh line that's called Green, Vitovska Green, but it's not just Vitovska, it's 50 Vitovska, 50 Malvasia from our youngest vineyards, just from 7 years, that we sell mostly at our home and in Venice. But this is just for our home at Venice, also in Osmith.
Okay, so those are 8 labels.
Yeah.
And what is the volume of production so that we can kind of get a feel of the size of the winery?
Around 40,000 bottles.
In total?
From 10 hectares. Yeah, 10 hectares and half.
Oh, right. Okay, so I would consider you kind of small winery.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where are you selling your wines? Is it local? Is it international? I understand you're traveling quite a bit. Where can people find your wines?
So 50% of our wine goes through Italy, north-south, everywhere, Milan, Trieste, a lot in Venice, Rome, south of Italy. And then 50% goes in foreign countries. And the 2 biggest markets for foreign countries that we have is US and Japan.
Okay.
And then obviously we also sell to Slovenia, Germany, France, UK, and other places, but in small quantity, not like Italy, US, and Japan. These 3 are our biggest markets.
And which wine out of these 8 would you consider to be your kind of like your signature wine?
I think that one made in stone.
The Vitovska.
Yeah, the Vitovska.
Vitovska.
The Vitovska made in stone. Yeah, the Vitovska made in stone for me is a unique wine and tells about our area, tells about us, tells about our idea, tells about our philosophy, and I'm really happy about this wine and the choice that we made.
Okay. How old are you?
26.
Yeah, you're still so little, my God.
Young guy.
But so what is your vision as a 25, 26-year-old for your winery? Like, first of all, you're going to stay in the family business. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to on that road, yeah.
Were you ever tempted to go out of the family and do something else?
Yes, some days, yes. Even yesterday.
That's what you get when you work with family.
No, just joking. No, yeah, obviously I had moments when I thought maybe I can do also something else. But as I told before, I'm really happy about our family values and our family business.
Okay. And have you got siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister. Small
Younger?
sister. Yeah, younger sister, 4 years younger, and now is currently in Japan, studying. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You got a built-in Japanese ambassador.
Yeah,
I hope so.
exactly.
That's the mission.
That's a good mission.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I mean, I know the wines, your type of wines are very, very popular in Japan.
It's not easy to explain because in Japan they told me that these orange wines are really popular. Mm-hmm. We don't consider us orange wines makers. Not because we don't like orange wines, because if you see a glass of Zidarich wine, simply not orange.
It just doesn't have that color.
Yeah, it doesn't have that color.
Right. But sometimes it's not what you you think it is. It's how it becomes perceived, right?
Absolutely.
So the perception is really, really the make or break kind of deal, right?
Well, that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. I was like, oh, wait, no, Zidarich's orange wines, I don't want to drink those wines. But then, bingo, I tried them, and I was like, oh, wait, yeah, no, these are great wines.
Right.
Well, who knows if they are orange or not?
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm very much looking forward to trying your wine one day. Thank you so much for joining us today. I think we're going to wrap up the room now.
Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Leica, so who's up next and when? Because this week you had me doing 2 pods.
Right. So next week is going to be just one. So it's Tuesday, July 2 with Alessandro Boga interviewing Gianluca Bisol.
Okay, excellent. Alessandro, of course, is our old friend who works now at Wilson Daniels. He used to work for Colangelo when I met him. He was little. Excellent. And, of course, everybody knows who Gianluca Bisol is. So that's it. Signing up. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Stevie. Thank you, Leica. Thank you, Jakob.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao.
Once again, here we go.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.